Hello, welcome to Module 2 of Communication Research Methods. In this module, we'll be covering some basics of research design, and I just want to briefly talk about the chapters you'll be reading in this module. The first one, Chapter 5, discusses research questions and hypotheses. So we'll learn about how to construct research questions, how to construct research hypotheses, and the difference between the null hypothesis and the research hypothesis. Then in the next chapter, Chapter 6, we'll be discussing research ethics, and so we'll discuss the definition of ethics, the role of the Institutional Review Board, or the IRB, and this is the board on campus, on every campus, that reviews research that involves human participants and determines if the participants are being harmed or treated appropriately or not, and also the protection of participants' privacy is a concern that's discussed in this chapter. Then in Chapter 7, we'll discuss variables, and so most importantly, we'll discuss what is a variable. We'll discuss the conceptual and operational definitions of variables, the different levels of measurement, and this is something that you'll be writing about in the blog for this module. The types of variables, namely the independent and dependent variables, and then what can be the possible relationship between variables. Then in Chapter 8, we'll discuss sampling, and so this determines what data you'll be collecting. So if you're looking at a text, how do you determine how to sample the text? If you are sampling participants, then it will discuss how to sample those participants. So we'll look at the theory behind sampling methods, and then we'll talk about the different techniques that can be used in both quantitative and qualitative research. Then in Chapter 9, this is an important chapter that concerns reliability, validity, and credibility. So one way that I can use to describe the difference between reliability and validity is if you think of a scale that you use to measure your weight. A reliable scale is something that's consistent. So every time you stand on that scale, does it give you the same measurement, in pounds, presuming that your weight doesn't change? That means that the scale is reliable. A valid scale is one that is accurately measuring what it intends to measure. So a scale is intending to measure pounds. So if it's a valid scale, then it is accurately measuring pounds. So we can presume that if a scale is valid, that it's reliable, but if it's reliable, it does not necessarily mean that it's valid, because you could be standing on that scale every time and it's coming up with the same measurement, but it's not the accurate measurement. And then lastly in this chapter, we'll be discussing credibility, and this primarily applies to qualitative research designs. One of the other things that you'll be doing in this module is completing Part A of the research proposal paper. So as you've read in the syllabus, this paper is completed in 3 different portions. So this first portion, Portion A, is where you're going to be summarizing a theory. So I've listed theories in the syllabus, and you need to just select one of those theories. You'll find recent articles that cite that theory that will help you discuss and describe that theory. What are the basic tenets of that theory, and what does it propose to describe in terms of a communication phenomena? And then I want you to write 2 potential research topics that you could use to test that particular theory. So this is just to help you as you move forward to the next portion. What are 2 possible topics that you could study with the theory that you're interested in? And then you should describe at least one competing theory at the end of this Portion A of the paper. So this is 1 to 2 pages in length. There's much more detail in the syllabus, and please do get in touch with me if you have any questions about completing Portion A of the paper. So for this Module 2, you need to read Chapters 5 through 9, review the lessons and watch the related video material within Module 2, post the required comments to the voice thread for this module, complete quizzes 5 to 10, post to the module blog, and then submit Portion A of the research proposal. So of course, if you have any questions, please get in touch with me. Thank you.